You grow up in a place that looks beautiful on the outside. Clean streets, fancy cafes, tourists taking pictures. Everything looks perfect, but you know better because you live behind it in the parts people don't show, where deals happen in silence, where money moves without records, where problems don't get solved. They disappear. You're just a kid, but you notice things. Cars that stop for no reason, men who never smile, people who talk softly, but carry weight in every word. Your family owns a small business. At least, that's what everyone thinks. A restaurant. Simple, normal, but you start realizing something strange. No one ever argues about prices. No one refuses anything. People walk in nervous and leave quiet, sometimes shaking, sometimes relieved. You ask your father once why people act like that. He doesn't answer. He just tells you to focus on school. So you do, but you keep watching. And the more you watch, the more things stop making sense. Until one night, you see it clearly. The restaurant is closed, lights off, but you hear voices inside. You shouldn't go in, but you do. Slowly, quietly. You peek through the door, and everything changes. Your father is there, not behind the counter, but at the head of the table. Men around him, serious, focused. A briefcase opens, stacks of money. Another man is talking fast, nervous, sweating. Your father says nothing, he just listens. Then he nods once, and that's enough. The room shifts, decisions are made, and you realize something. This isn't a restaurant, it's a front, and your father is not just a businessman. He's in control. That's the moment your world splits in two. The life everyone sees, and the life you're actually living. And from that night on, you can't pretend anymore. After that night, you stop asking questions. Not because you're not curious, but because you already know the answers. And the answers change everything. You start paying attention, really paying attention. Who comes in? Who leaves? Who talks? Who listens? You notice patterns, the same faces, the same cars, the same quiet exchanges, and slowly, it all starts to make sense. Your father isn't just involved, he runs things, not loudly, not publicly, but completely. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. As you grow older, people start recognizing you, not for who you are, but for your name. Doors open, conversations stop when you walk in. People treat you carefully, like one wrong word could cost them. At first, it feels strange. Then it starts to feel powerful. That feeling, it stays with you. One day, your father calls you in, just you and him. No staff, no noise, just silence. He pours 2 drinks, pushes one toward you, and for the first time, he speaks to you differently, not like a child, like someone who needs to understand. He doesn't explain everything, he doesn't need to, he just says, everything you see runs on respect. Then he pauses. And respect comes from control. You don't respond, you just listen, because now you understand what he's really saying. Control the money, control the people, control the fear, and you control everything. From that moment, you're no longer just watching, you're involved. It starts small, simple tasks. Deliver this, watch that, be present, stay quiet. You follow instructions. You don't ask why, because in this world, why doesn't matter, only results do. At first, your hands shake, your heart races, everything feels wrong, but no one around you hesitates, no one doubts, so you adapt, because you have to, because there's no other option. And slowly, that fear disappears, replaced by something else, confidence, then control, then something deeper, power, and once you feel it, you don't want to let it go. Days turn into years, and before you realize it, you're no longer learning, you're leading. People don't talk to your father first anymore. They come to you, they wait for your decisions, they watch how you react, because in this world, reaction is everything. At first, you try to be different, more calm, more fair, less ruthless, but it doesn't work. This world doesn't respect kindness. It tests it, pushes it, breaks it. Every time you hesitate, you lose ground. Every time you show mercy, someone takes advantage. So you learn fast, you become sharper, colder, more precise. You stop explaining yourself, you stop justifying decisions, you just act, and people follow. Not because they like you, but because they understand you, and that's enough. Your father watches, says nothing, but you can see it. He knows you've stepped into his world completely. Then one day, it ends. Not with chaos, not with drama, just silence. He's gone. And suddenly, Everything is yours, the same people who respected him. Now look at you, carefully, measuring, waiting, because power doesn't disappear, it transfers, and now it's yours. You take the seat, the head of the table, the place where decisions are made, the place where everything starts and ends. At first, it feels heavy, too heavy, but that feeling doesn't last, because just like before, you adapt, you make calls, real ones, the kind that change lives, the kind that end them, and slowly, you stop thinking about it, because thinking slows you down, and slowing down is dangerous. And just like that, you become him, the same presence, the same silence, the same weight in every room you enter. You control everything, money, people, territory, influence, even fear itself. But something is missing, something you never had, a normal life, a real choice. One night, you sit alone in your office, looking out over the city, the same city people admire, the same city tourists love. But now, you see it differently. You see what's underneath, the deals, the silence, the control, and then it hits you. You didn't climb to the top, you were pulled into it, step by step, decision by decision, until there was no way out. You think you're in control, but you're not, because this world doesn't let you leave. It only lets you rise or fall, and the higher you go, the harder it becomes to escape, because now, you're not just part of the system, you are the system, and one day, someone will be watching you, the same way you once watched him. Learning, understanding, becoming. Because in this world, power doesn't stay still. It moves from one man to the next. And no matter how strong you are, you're just temporary. A name, a position, a moment in a system that never stops.